So the question I keep getting asked is, why has this game taken 6 years to make? So there's a couple of answers to this, so I'm going to go through all of them one by one. The first one is, although this game has taken 6 years up till this point, it doesn't mean this is the same game from 6 years ago. So about 3 years ago, we restarted completely. We had our original unique selling point was that it was a cooperative 3D platformer, and we had very different character models, different code, and we were just trying to experiment with the idea of making the game fun based off the concept of having two characters that require cooperative gameplay between you and a friend. This was not a very strong unique selling point. Whenever we pitched it to people, publishers, people online, they weren't particularly interested in that USP. So in game development, it's usually important, or in any kind of, product that you are going to sell, you need to have some form of unique selling point. What's the point? Why are people going to choose to buy your product compared to all the other products out there? What has your game got that stands out from the crowd? And the unique selling point of just having Billie and Oscar working in a co-op game was not getting us anywhere. People were not interested enough in that to want to buy the game. So about 3 years ago, we had the idea to turn it into a musical, and we kind of just started from scratch all over again. So although this game has been in development for 6 years, it's only really been in development for 3 years. So that's one of the first major things, is that this game has only really been in development for 3 years. But the characters have been around for 6. The second reason is that game development just takes a really long time. Most people will tell you that, is that game development takes a very long time. There's lots of reasons as to why game development takes a long time. One being money. Video games are very, very expensive to make. So, for example, a game could very easily have a budget of at least £500,000. And we started this game when we were early 20s. I don't know how old the people asking this question are. But if you try and imagine being in your early 20s, trying to make £500,000 to fund your dream project, chances are it's not something you're going to manage. The fact that we have managed to get funding is only because of our wonderful community and, of course, having a publisher finally. But yeah, funding a game or getting someone who wants to fund your game is another really hard step. And I just want to acknowledge that we've been very fortunate to get so much help with funding over the years. And it's only recently that we have had enough to say, okay, we're actually able to fully fund this game. For the longest time, it was just us trying to get together all the money we could to just stay afloat, to make sure we didn't go bankrupt. So yeah, video games take a lot of money to make. One of the reasons why as well is because it's a job that requires pretty much every role when working on a game in a games company is going to be a high skill job. You're going to have to train for years to get into that position. You probably will have been working in games or working on your skills to animate or 3D model for 6 or 7 years. So you're naturally going to have to pay quite a bit of money for that person's position to join your team and help work on your game. And the rates can be quite high. And that's valid. It's totally valid for the people on our team to charge the rates that they do, because they are professionals and they are very talented. The next reason is just that it takes a long time to do things that are of quality. So we want our game, it's a passion project, to be the highest quality possible. Meaning that we put a lot of time and effort to make sure that this game is good in terms of animation, game design, story, script writing. So it takes a bit longer because we don't want to rush the process and push something out early that isn't good. If we push something out early, I'm sure people would still buy it. I'm sure we'd still make a profit, but then we wouldn't be happy. I want this game to be good. We want this game to be good. We're really passionate about what we're making. We want to tell the story correctly. The next reason is that I don't want to burn out our staff. I have quite a loose policy. I realize that when I'm managing my team. But I try to never have a situation in which someone is getting actively stressed whilst working on this project. I refuse for anyone on our team to have moments of stress or fear or concern that they are doing a bad job. This is a labor of love, and thus everyone on the team should be passionate and happy to be working on this project. And I don't really have to push them. Like, they will work without having to be, bullied, I guess. It's a weird thing to say, but I do know it's an issue in the games industry, a very common issue of burning out your team members and crunching them. So we have a no crunch policy here. Some of us do self-crunch, but I think that just comes down to our work styles. It's not an imposed crunch. Myself, for example, I go through periods of rest and then periods of self-crunch because that's just kind of how my brain works, and I'm cool with that. But everyone is given like their own work hours. They can pick when they want to work. It's all up to them on how they want to organize themselves. The next thing is just that we do have a project plan. We do have like a full project plan that we follow, that we are trying to, stay on task and make sure that we can deliver this game in a timely manner. But 3 years isn't really that bad in terms of development, like timescales. I can't remember how long Hat in Time was. I think it was 6 years or so. I know that Cuphead was 6 years or so. I would go fact check that, but it's not unusual for indie games, especially for their first big release, to take a while. And usually that is just taking time to find funding. Which was mostly what most of our time was spent doing, is just trying to find a way to get money in. To build a team takes a really, really long time. Like, we were looking for a particle effects artist for the longest time, and I am very, very fussy with the people that I hire, because like I said before, it's important to find people who are skilled enough to reach the level of quality that we want. And additionally, I need to hire people I trust, because I said before, I have quite a lax way of managing people. They need to be able to self-manage. And so I need to find someone that I can trust, someone who is good at communicating, and someone who has a high skill level for this position. So I spent a good couple of months waiting for the correct or the best VFX artist to apply for that job position. And that's the same with all the positions, really, is just because you put out an advert offering money doesn't mean people are going to apply. So I would rather not rush that process there as well. So yeah, I think there's lots of different things involved, lots of different reasons why games take a long time to make. And like I said before, this is our first game. This is our first big game. We're also learning stuff as we go. Like, this is a learning process. When I started out making this game, I did not have any abilities in 3D art, like 3D character art. I didn't know how to 3D model characters. That's part of the main reason the faces ended up being 2D, is that I attempted to make Billie with a 3D face, and it was nightmare fuel. So, I had to learn. I had to learn how to do 3D models. Ash had experience in storyboards, but they're sat right next to me, but I wouldn't say that they were an expert at storyboards when you started out.
No experience with storyboards.
Yeah, so we had to learn a lot of our positions because we wear a lot of hats in this industry. Like, we share multiple roles. I do multiple roles. I do the game design, the level design, the character models, the environment art. And so there are certain things that we had to learn how to do. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I'll try and think of some other things. Maybe I'll write up a post on it. But, this isn't abnormal. We're not a AAA company. We're an indie company. And another big factor as well is just mental health. Like, recently, things have been going on in my life that have made things very hard for me in terms of just working in general, or existing. It's been rough. So there will be down periods where I'm kind of lower energy and finding it harder to work. I'm still working because Billie Best Up is what makes me happy. But that we're not machines. We can't just pump out non-stop productive work, just like the rest of my team. There are moments where people on our team have moments of really energized, pumping out lots of work, and moments where they're going to be less energized. And, things happen. Life happens. We just have to approach it with compassion and respect and understand that they will come back when they are ready to, and that we're here to love and support them until that point happens. But, I just wanted everyone to know that this game is built with love and passion. We're not crunching anyone. And we are certainly still working on this game. It's not taking a long time because we're all just sat around doing nothing and going, ha, 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 ha. So, Ash is working right now, I think.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not? So you were drawing something.
Oh, no, Katie's pulling out the beat me up stick.
But yeah, I made a recent progress post on the YouTube. I don't post a lot on here, but I do post a lot on the Kickstarter and Patreon. So if you wanted to see more in-depth posts, they're there. But I don't want anyone to worry and think that we're not working on this game. I think there is nothing I want more in this world than for this game to come out, because I love it. So don't worry. Bye!